first game of the Sunday slate, the Lions at the Bears. This line opened up Bears -6. I don't know why it was -6, but it was taken down to 3. Lots of sharp action on the Lions. So who do you have in this game?
Yeah, I'm with the sharps on this one. You have to like the Lions in this one. First of all, I don't want to trust Mitch Trubisky. Every time there's the narrative like, oh, he's regained the starting job, or oh, he's coming into the new year and he's looking better in practice. We see the same thing every time. He still doesn't read the field well. He still overthrows a lot of passes, and he throws picks and turns the ball over and takes sacks. It's just not a recipe for success. Then meanwhile, you look at the Lions, and they're going to be motivated to win because Matt Patricia is gone. The players did not like him, as you could see from all of their social media reaction when he left. You rarely see something like that happen once in a year, let alone twice, because Bill O'Brien got a similar treatment on his way out from the Texans. So the Lions are going to be motivated to show like, hey, we are a good team. We just had a lousy coach. And then you look at the injuries on the offensive side of the ball. They have a chance to be much healthier. Matthew Stafford looked better on Thanksgiving than I thought he would. He still had some issues and didn't lead the team to a win, but he was able to throw the ball. So that was a good sign. With 10 days off, I think his thumb's going to be better. DeAndre Swift should play. He was almost able to play on Thanksgiving. He was just listed as questionable. So I think with him coming back, that's going to be huge for their run game. It'll give them an extra weapon on offense. And then we got to see if Kenny Golladay is going to play. He's been dealing with a hip injury. That'll be the big difference maker, because without Golladay, I think the Chicago pass defense will be able to lock down the Detroit weapons for the most part. So Stafford's going to have to make a lot of plays to win the game. But if Galladay's there, I think that the Lions could win the game on offense, especially if Akeem Hicks is out for the defense. Then they could run all over them. And then, defensively, the Lions aren't great, but the Bears have the second worst offense in the NFL in terms of yardage. And the only reason they're fourth worst in scoring this as of this week is because the Packers let them score a bunch in garbage time last week. Otherwise, they would still be second worst to only the Jets. So I trust the Lions to figure out a way to slow down the Bears, keep this close. So I'll be on Lions +3 for 1 to 2 units. Probably if Kenny Golladay plays, I'll do 2 units for sure.
Yeah, all that scoring at the end, the Bears almost covered too. They almost got the backdoor cover. I was kind of like sweating it out at the end. I'm like, oh, man, this looked like such a short cover. But it was like 41-10, and like suddenly the Bears scored a couple of touchdowns. Luckily, they didn't get the cover. So yeah, I'm with you on this game for now. The injury report is huge. Like you mentioned, the 3 guys, like Swift, Golladay, and Hicks. Like those are the 3 main guys. I think you're right in saying Swift is probably going to play. Like he was close to playing on Thanksgiving. We don't know about Golladay, but Detroit's offense is so different with Golladay. Like it's crazy. Like it's night and day, really. So if they don't have Golladay, and Amendola's still kind of out, then Stafford, who may not be 100% still, is only going to have Marvin Jones to throw to. It seems like the Bears should be able to shut that down pretty easily. But Golladay kind of changes everything. And then Hicks, like the Bears defense is so different without Hicks. Like you can just see it. Like they usually have a great run defense, and then the Packers just steamroll through them. Like Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams had picked up good yardage on the ground. Remember the fourth quarter of that Monday night game with the Vikings? The Vikings couldn't run the ball at all. And then Hicks left the game, and then Dalvin Cook just went off and had some big runs. So the Hicks injury is so huge too. So that's what I'm going to wait on. Like if Galladay's out and Hicks comes back, like I would consider going to the Bears. But if all these guys play, if Galladay's on the field and like Hicks is back, like I'll still be on the Lions. But then again, like if Hicks is out and Golladay comes back, I'm going to be on the Lions for several units. So it really depends on what the injury report looks like.
Yeah, and I think probably the only way you could get me to switch to the Bears is if Swift and Golladay were out and Hicks was playing. Then I would definitely be on the Bears. I think any other combination, I'm still on the Lions. But, if Hicks plays and Galladay's out, I probably wouldn't bet the game. But any other scenario, I would probably be on the Lions in this one. So it just feels like a good spot for them to, like, flip the bird at Matt Patricia and be like, hey, look at us. We're actually good now that you're gone. So, let's see what happens. I am very interested to see how this game goes because Matt Patricia, I think, went to school at the same place I did. So we're going to see if he was really that bad of a coach or if I can convince myself that he was okay.
We'll see. I don't know. I mean, it seems like the defense got worse with him. I think it's a good point that you made. You know, given that the Lions didn't like Patricia, like usually in season firings aren't good for the teams unless there's a bye or the team didn't like the coach. And in this case, in this scenario, they're both. Like the Lions are coming off like a mini bye after Thanksgiving, and they didn't like Patricia. So I think they should be able to rebound. You know, it'd be a lot different if they actually liked Patricia and they were upset by the firing. You know.